everyone, this is Chloe. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If I look very sleepy, it's because I just woke up from a very intense nap that I shouldn't have taken in the first place. That being said, I am so happy that you're back on my channel and that you clicked here on this video, and I know that the title might be a little bit but if you have been following the whole situation with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, you might know what I'm referring to and why this concept is so prevalent nowadays. And I just really wanted to discuss this whole situation, my thoughts on it, and of course, this channel is made to create debate and conversation in the comments. I'm always hoping that you guys will comment what your thoughts are on the topic that I'm discussing, whether that be, you agree with me, you disagree with me, that's completely fine. But I think generating debate and a discussion about these things really matters, especially since this has had tremendous consequences on people that turned out to be innocent or will be proven innocent, in my opinion, very soon. So yeah. Before I continue with the video, or I get started, I just want to make a huge disclaimer. First, I just want to say that this video is not meant to diminish or minimize domestic violence. Quite the opposite. This video supports, in my channel and myself, I support completely every single person that has been a victim of domestic violence. I've seen it firsthand in my life. I've had people in my life that I loved and that I love suffer from it and experience it, and I think it's serious and I think it's terrible. And I am so proud of every single person that has survived these situations. You're so strong, you're valid, and this video is in no way, shape, or form discussing or judging your experience or saying that your experience is not valid. Your experience is very much valid. So I feel like this case is so known and there's so much media coverage surrounding it that I don't even have to introduce it. But if you have been living under a rock for the past 6 to 7 years, Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, they used to be married. Many years ago, they got divorced, and she claimed that he was abusive, like physically and emotionally abusive throughout their relationship. Afterwards, they had a joint statement, declaring that they were separating or divorcing, and he did pay a very big amount of millions of dollars to her after their divorce. And kind of like with that joint statement, they kind of like both brushed off the fact that none of them were abusive throughout the relationship, kind of like clearing the air and just being like, this is over, we're divorced, we don't want any media coverage on this. That was until Amber Heard did complete an article. I don't remember the name of the paper, but I've been reading this so much I can't even remember. I can't believe that I don't remember the name of the paper. But she basically completed an article where she kind of like referred to being a victim of domestic abuse, didn't mention him directly. They were not legally able to refer to each other after the divorce. She didn't say his name, but it was pretty obvious that she was referring to her relationship with Johnny Depp. That's when he basically sued her for defamation, and that's the trial that's been going on this last couple of weeks. If you take a look at all of the videos from this trial, you can actually see there's so much evidence pointing towards the fact that the abusive person in the relationship was indeed Amber Heard and not Johnny Depp. And we all know that the effect of these accusations by Amber Heard had on Johnny Depp's career. He was fired from multiple projects, including Pirates of the Caribbean 5 and the third Fantastic Beasts movie, where he had an amazing character, but whatever. So this did have an immense impact in his professional life, and as he shared during the trial, in his personal life as well. His family, his friends were pretty much affected, as anyone could be. And this was all founded on what has been, we have been observing throughout the trials, not a lot of evidence. He is indeed a person that struggles with addiction. He's a person that has been, he declared that he's an alcoholic. He had a drug use problem and has a drug use problem. He has been physically aggressive with objects, but there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever that points out to him being physically abusive towards Amber Heard or anyone for that matter. There are a lot of different sets of evidence that do point towards Amber Heard being physically abusive towards him. And I'm not gonna go into all of the details about this because you can find all of this on YouTube. It's fantastic. Everything has been recorded for your entertainment and mine, which kind of sucks if you think about it, but it's out there if you want to watch this. Like if you want to see what I'm referring to, everything is out there in YouTube and you can find everything that I'm referring to. But the point of this video is not to go over the huge list of things Amber Heard has done and how Johnny Depp has a lot of addiction issues. My point is a little bit bigger, and that's why I think the name of this video or the title of this video can be a little bit shocking to some people. The reality of the situation is that besides all of the evidence that was proven in the trials, or was shown in the trials, we don't really know the nature, like for sure, of their relationship. We know that it was pretty much abusive, at least from Amber's side. It was psychologically and physically abusive. We also know that Johnny Depp is probably not the best partner in the world. He is a person that struggles with addiction and with drug use and a really bad temper. And those things are not really nice, of course, but that, of course, doesn't justify violence towards that person. You can always get a divorce. You can always talk it out. And if you can't talk it out, you get separated. You know what I mean? My point is, even though we're not talking about probably great people, I think Amber Heard does need to pay for what she has done. And I don't think that Johnny Depp probably needs a lot of psychological assistance to treat his drug use and, alcohol problem or whatever it is that is making him struggle so much. This is a very important lesson that we as a society are being taught right now. And if you don't accept it or if you can't see it, I am so shocked, and the media has brainwashed you into thinking a certain way, and I feel so sorry that that is the situation. As women specifically, nowadays we are taught that we should believe all women. Like that's the narrative. And if you don't believe all women, you are anti-feminist or you're anti-women, you're misogynistic. And clearly we have realized that we can't believe women without proof, and that is a fact. This sounds terrible because sometimes finding proof is more difficult. This sounds terrible because it's really hard, or it makes you feel awful to be, to question where someone is coming from when they're like, hey, I'm being physically abused, I'm having a terrible time, I need help, I need to escape a situation. And I think we should change the narrative to not believe all women, but believe all women as long as you're finding all of the evidence possible that kind of like supports their claims, if that makes sense. I don't think not believing women is a good idea, because if we don't believe women, we don't take things seriously, we don't take what they're saying seriously, and we pretty much, will probably ignore a lot of real domestic violence cases where women are put in really dangerous situations, and not believe in women like this will not support those women who are actually struggling with this and are going through this. I think we should change the narrative to believe all women as long as they're ready and prepared to show evidence and to go through the process of that showing of evidence that supports their claims. And this is why I think as much as this could be possible, people that are going through domestic violence situations should prepare some sort of evidence against the perpetrator, you know what I mean? A lot of people have been criticizing that Amber Heard fabricated a lot of these things and kind of like filmed Johnny Depp throughout his, weakest times and, when he was really drunk or really heavy on drugs. And yeah, that's shady because she kind of like wanted to fabricate this, image of him being a terrible person. But what I mean is, if you are a victim of domestic abuse, let's say Johnny Depp did record Amber Heard when she was being very, very violent towards him, very aggressive, and literally caught her on tape admitting to being physically abusive. And if that is a possibility, I think, it's dangerous, because in a situation like that, if you get caught recording something, it's really, really dangerous. But it's worth a shot, right? Because you have that physical evidence that you can show to someone and that will support your claims. The reason why I'm saying this is it's going to be easier for a case when you have the physical evidence, and also it's going to be way easier for people to not only believe you, but for you to get these things resolved. I think the pendulum keeps swinging and swinging, and we are at a moment in that pendulum where believe all women has become so strong, you know, after the Me Too movement and all of these things, where no evidence is required anymore. It's my claims. It's true just because I said it, where I think that it's really, really dangerous. I understand that a lot of women go through this and do not have physical evidence. But if we as a society, as a whole, start believing women who don't have any evidence all the time, we allow situations like Amber Heard's and Johnny Depp's to happen. That's just a fact. So while I know that this is a very tricky topic, and it's really, really hard, and it's very complex and has a lot of shades and a lot of different things to analyze, I do think that we need to believe women as long as they support those claims. And of course, you know, as an attorney or as a lawyer, people should believe their clients as long as they have that physical evidence that will basically prove that they're right or what happened was accurate. And as I said, I understand that this is really difficult in some situations. Some situations are too violent for women to record their partners or gather evidence. But it's just so important. It's just so important to at least try. And I know it's scary, but for these situations to stop and for you to get justice, this is what we need as a society. Because we've seen so many cases of women being blindly believed, like justice just believing those claims without any proof. And we've also seen the other end of the spectrum where so many cases are disregarded because there's not enough evidence. So it fucking sucks, and it's a paradox. And I do think the fact that this was a very highly publicized relationship, like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, they're really, really known, that kind of made it easier for him to get canceled and for people to believe her without any proof. I think this is a really complex topic, and I don't mean to be, condescending on this, because I don't have the answers. This is just how I feel about the situation right now, and I would love so much to read your comments down below and see how you feel, because I think we need to initiate, as I said before, we need to start a conversation about this, because it's wild, and I'm so sorry that these situations keep happening. What Amber Heard has done is not only basically destroy a man's reputation, and, you know, affect their family life and professional life, but also what she has done is basically so harmful for real victims of domestic violence. She has exploited real suffering that a lot of women go through and men go through just for her own gain, which I'm not even sure what that is, because to me she's just I can't decipher her. I really can't. I hope you guys liked today's video and enjoyed it. It was a heavy topic, but I still wish to see that debate on the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.